Hello and welcome to another segment of the LPE Author Chat series. I am Kimberly K. LaBoo, CEO and founder of LaBoo Publishing Enterprise. This month we have our special Anthology Edition featuring authors from the soon-to-be released book, True Wealth Starts in the Mind by visionary author Lisa M. Jones. Our special guest tonight is Mr. Kristopher Aaron, who penned the chapter in True Wealth. True health starts at the cellular level. So welcome to the broadcast, Kristopher. How are you?
I'm happy.
Good, good. So your chapter in the book is so powerful that it was literally like life-changing for me. And I'm going to share a little bit about that later. But I guess like some people might be wondering what a chapter about health is doing in a book about wealth. And you addressed that in your opening chapter when you wrote, health is the new wealth. Being healthy is the first step to living your best life. And you know, everybody's walking around singing that song, I'm living my best life, right? So why don't we start with you telling us a little bit about your chapter title and what that actually means. True health begins at the cellular level.
I will. That's a good.
Yeah.
That chapter basically represents what true health really is. Now, I'm not talking about the appearance of health because many people are
Right.
health. But when we look 10, 15, 20 years down the road, they're breaking down. They have a disease. But when I mean true health begins at the cellular level, that means that's somebody who's who's healthy at the deepest levels, mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally.
Yeah.
And you have to embrace certain protocols and principles, and it takes years to really get there to be that. I call it fully alive,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's basically not the appearance of health, but the real. Like that talk show that comes on every day, the real.
The real.
We all want the real.
Yeah.
And this chapter is about how to achieve a state of a true where you have energy, unlimited amounts of energy, where you rarely if ever get sick anymore. That seasonal cold or flu, you don't experience that anymore.
Wow.
And you can do things in your body, because that's the one thing that we normally take for granted, most people,
Mm-hmm.
either most time unconsciously. And so it's basically living at from a higher principle, you know,
Yeah.
because our body and our health is the anchor. And we can't live our best life, like you were just saying,
Yeah.
without our health. We need our health, and health and wealth are related. They are
Yeah.
absolutely related, because some of the principles that it takes to create a lot of money, you read all the success
Mm-hmm.
books or talk to people in the business, you know, they're the same sort of principles that apply with health.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you wrote, we have to be willing to change our beliefs and be open to new information and new ways of living. And you said because most of what we believe is rooted in false knowledge. So have you always been someone that was a healthy eater or lived a healthy lifestyle? Or was there a moment in your life that triggered a change for you to want to live a healthier lifestyle?
Good question. And the answer to that, I have to always eat right and do things like that. As a matter of fact, for most, like up until maybe age 26 is when I started, changing things around.
Wow.
What blessed me was that I was always into fitness. You know,
Ah,
I played basketball at Syracuse University. I've ran 7 26.2-mile marathon, Chicago marathon.
wow.
I ran a 100-mile ultra marathon, 30-hour nonstop race, an ultra,
Wow.
a 50-miler. So I was always into fitness. So that helped balance the crazy diet. I was eating the standard American diet like everybody else. A lot of
Hmm.
sugar, a lot of processed
Yeah.
foods, a lot of meat.
Mhm.
And what changed me, what triggered me, was that I was in business, with people in a, like in a financial service business long time ago.
Mhm.
And even though we'd make a lot of money, or you were the number one stud, you were good, I started seeing even the best of the best start to break down in their body, in their health.
Wow.
And I didn't want to be that. Kim, I not only wanted to be, financially secure, but I wanted to be physically sound so that I can be truly happy and whole. And you can't do it. And I know that there's when I mentioned in the book false knowledge, I call it Plato's cave. You know, Plato's cave is the cave of ignorance.
Wow.
And yeah, and it starts with false knowledge, believing a lie. That leads to making mistakes or sinning, missing the mark, and that manifests the dark ages. The dark ages.
Wow.
Plato's cave.
Wow. Yeah, I read that part in the book. Well, I've read the whole chapter, so it's so much impactful and great knowledge in your chapter. When I read it, I felt like I was convicted and empowered all at the same time.
And that's what the purpose. That's you should, because it lets you know, oh God, I got to make some changes. But at the
Yes.
same time, you're being empowered where you're good. Now you're getting the
Yeah.
knowledge, and you can listen to your intuition. Let you say, okay, I can start fasting. I can start juicing. I can start eating more raw living food. And I can start working out more.
Right.
And, yes. So.
Yeah. So you talked extensively in the book about air, fire, earth, and water.
Yes.
And so you gave a lot of information in the book about that, but I wanted you to touch on each one of those points a little bit to let people know, what you were talking about, how those things are impacting our life and our health.
I'm so glad you back in the day, it used to be called the God Spell. It was called the God Spell a long time ago. That became the gospel. They changed it to the gospel. The gospel became known as the good news. News meaning north, east, west, and south. And then that became the holy grail of air, fire, earth, and water. Fire meaning sunshine, earth meaning plants. The word plant means wandering seed. The word planet means wandering rock. Okay. Air, fire, earth, and water is what leads to life. That's what a few there be who find it. Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. A few, air, fire, earth, and water, there be who find it. Who finds what? The ancient alchemy that leads to life, that leads to abundance, that leads to joy, And so that's what it is. It's called the Holy Grail. When you walk on water, say Jesus walked on water for 40 days and 40 nights, doesn't mean levitating on water. It just means you're walking on water. You're consuming nothing but water, so that you can raise your vibration and go to a higher frequency. Sunshine, all the natural elements is what create joy within us, and it cleanses us of all the things of the world and debris that we tend to accumulate over time. So.
Nice,
Yes.
nice. So I wanted to point out a couple of things that you said about those. You were talking about breath. You said breath is such an important yet overlooked aspect of health.
Yes.
Deep breathing is an art and a consciousness. Most people are shallow breathers. Deep calls unto deep. Problems happen over time, not overnight. That's huge.
Yes.
It sometimes takes years to recognize our mistakes and for the effects of our bad habits to manifest.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Kim. A lot of times we don't experience instant karma. Seed time harvest. So that time equation is so important. And it's like, we're always planting seeds with everything we do or everything we fail to do. So I always tell people with our health, with our body, that's a slippery slope, because once you reach the point of no return, and there is a point of no return, you're gonna, you don't want to go to that point. And there is a point. You'll hear people say, well, it's never too late. There is a point of no return.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you said, let's see, remember you can go weeks without food, but most of us would be dead if we stopped breathing for even just 5 minutes. Deep diaphragmatic breaths are critical to building and maintaining a solid physical flesh house. Then you talked about sunshine. You said sunshine is critical to health and happiness. In places where sunshine is limited, depression and illness abound. You said choose to live in places where sunshine is prominent most of the time, or at the very least, travel to those places a few times a year to soak up some sun and be revitalized at a deeper level. And it's funny because I have experienced that now. And so I could relate to that when you were writing that and the difference that it makes in how you live and how you move, and it's incredible. So I could relate to that in the book. And so then you talked about the raw plant food in the form of fruits and vegetables being the most magical healing foods. Raw plant food is medicine. Fruits and vegetables vibrate much higher than any other foods. They are the easiest to assimilate and digest. So lots and lots of good stuff. But then you got to the water.
Yes.
And you said water is the elixir of life. Water is a solvent. It is the ultimate purifier. Drinking pure spring water is vital to a healthy body. Water keeps things flowing and easy. Most of our water should come from our food in the form of raw foods and vegetables, but the remainder should come in liquid form. You said water is the ultimate pain reliever. Just flood your body with water and wash your miseries away. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like just water, because I know for myself, like I've had a hard time getting to the love of water, and but I do feel the difference that it makes. So but you said the number one reason why people don't apply what they know is fear. Fear is a crucial taskmaster. Most of our fears are subconscious. So what do you think it is? What do you think that fear is as it relates to making that change to live a healthier lifestyle?
Good question. It could be I think most people we tend to fear the unknown, not knowing, like we're comfortable in our comforts. You know what I'm saying? Just even our known hells,
Yeah.
except for known heaven. Sometimes we fear pain. We fear we fear, like, okay, what if I'm making another mistake? What if I'm believing a lie? So I put all my eggs in this basket? What if it's wrong? And then addiction plays a big part. We don't want to. We think that we don't think it's a fair trade. We're addicted to the old way, the old foods, the old, and we don't think it's going to be a fair trade. But it's going to be more than a fair trade when you clean your body.
Yeah.
Are eating at a higher frequency. You will not regret. You will not regret it. So yeah, that fear of the unknown, I think, is probably the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said most people can handle a water fast for 21 days and 21 nights to clear and purify the body. Fasting is the most powerful form of healing and cleansing the body. It takes you to the lowest levels so that you can be exalted to the highest levels.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. And so that's where I wanted to talk about the part about me reading your chapter and then deciding that I was going to do this 21-day water fast.
Yeah.
And like I said, I felt empowered and convicted all at the same time. But I took on the 21-day water fast, and I had really never heard of it. I've heard of the Daniel fast. We do the fasting from sun up to sundown. I've done fasting with my church and things like that, but I had never heard of this 21-day water fast. And when you talked about it resetting the cycle, your body cycle and all of that, I was like, I want to test this out and I want to try it for myself.
Yeah.
And I had never done anything like that before. And so the benefits were just astounding.
Yeah.
Like it truly did reset my system.
Yeah.
And when I was in Hawaii, I would go to a nurse once a week just because I had access to her and I wanted her to check my blood pressure every Thursday.
Wow.
And so because my blood pressure runs on the high side a little bit, she would do it and she would always fuss at me about not taking my medication and stuff like that because I hate meds, right? So I'm like, we don't control this with diet, whatever. And so when I started doing the fast, I would go into her and my blood pressure was getting better and better and better. And she said, I want to know what you're doing. And
Wow.
I told her I was doing this 21-day water fast. And even after I finished it,
Yes.
it was like the new normal.
Yes.
That
Wow.
my blood pressure was like stabilized.
Yes.
And so it was just incredible, along with clarity of thought,
Yep.
being better connected to God and everything spiritual that goes with it.
Yep.
I felt better, of course, because your system is clean.
Yes.
And so talk about this 21-day water fast that you're talking about in the book. And you said the number 21 represents breakthrough, and having experienced that for myself, talk about the 21-day fast and why you encourage people to do that, because you actually walk people through that.
Yes. We talk about sevens. The number 3 represents renewal. The number 7 represents completion. You got to go three cycles to get your breakthrough.
Now repeat that one more time, because you were breaking up when you said it. The 3-3. Yeah.
We call it the 3 sevens.
Okay.
The number 3 represents renewal. The number 7 represents completion. And it takes 3 cycles of 7 to hit breakthrough.
Okay.
Now, that's just breakthrough. Now, it takes 40 days to cross over, but 21 days will get breakthrough. I've been facilitating, I've led hundreds of people through the 21-day water fast ever since 2014, but overall since 2010. And the purpose is to break, the general purpose is to break through generational curses that most people have in their bloodline. Because most people, either in your family, have never fasted for 1 day, at least,
Wow.
let alone 21 days. It's intimidating to a lot of people, but
Mm-hmm.
but they don't understand. Most people just don't understand that that's what true fasting is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, doing the Daniel fast or fasting until the sun goes down. That's not true fasting. That won't get you any. That won't. If you need real that ain't good enough. That's not. It's not. If you can't. It ain't good enough. And the thing it helps, but it's
Yeah,
not.
it helps.
It's not the price that has to be paid. Um, the purpose of the 21-day fast is not only for a reset, but to break basically things that are holding us back spiritually that we can't see.
Yeah.
Jesus did a 40-day fast, and we're doing a 40-day fast on the first.
Wow.
But the reason why he did it, because there was no other way. Um, it takes it that there was no other way, and that was the crossover to get to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dominion fast to reclaim what we gave up a long time ago, our dominion,
Mm-hmm.
and to flush out that serpent that's in our stomach and our intestines. And it takes 40 days to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's no other way. There's no other way to reconnect and to reclaim our dominion, but to go through that process. Now, back in the day, they would do 40 days on nothing but water, but now we do 20 water, and then we switch over to 20 days of living juices. Because the earth is a little bit different. It wasn't the water was much better back then before all the chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So it really wouldn't be ideal to do 40 days on nothing but water.
Yeah.
But going through a 21-day process, it's working your way up to that 40 days, um, can really. I've seen it so many times, Kim. It's just life changing.
Yeah.
Not only from a health perspective, you're gonna feel so good afterwards. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying it's easy because giving up food or any of it. All of us are food. We love to
Yeah.
eat. So I know it's not easy, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
But just like with in the money realm, they're always gonna say it ain't easy, but it's worth
It's
it.
worth it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
True.
the thing.
True. And you're right. It is worth it. It's just so you don't really realize how much time in your day is consumed about thinking about food.
Yes,
So we
that
wake up, what am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to have for lunch? What's the snack in between? What am I going to fix for dinner? And when all of that is removed, you have so much clarity of
yes,
thought and focus
yes.
on what's really important. And so, yeah, it is worth it. I can attest to that.
We're under the we are literally under a hunger spell. Most people
Yeah.
are and the only way to break the hunger spell is to go through a process of
Mhm.
true fasting to get out of that trap. It's a trap.
Yeah.
It affects the beggar all the way to the wealthy person. Listen, um, it's money cannot buy health. Money can facilitate you being healthier because you may have access to maybe better medicines.
Mm-hmm.
You may have access to things, but it doesn't raise your. You'll have it doesn't it because if that's the case, every billionaire millionaire would, first of all, they would be vibrantly healthy, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't die off like most of them do.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain principles and things that you have to do. Fasting is a principle. Juicing is a principle. Eating a higher frequency of living foods and moving our body and
Yeah.
things like that. But fasting to me is the most powerful. Even if you read the scriptures, it's mentioned the most in all the superheroes in the Bible, from Jesus, Moses, Elijah, Enoch, David, Solomon, Daniel, Esther, Ruth. All of them fasted.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that's a clue, Kim.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. You said, let's see, you wrote, you may think that, okay, so this is when you were talking about the 21-day fast, 40-day fast, 100-day fast. You said, you may think that that sounds extreme, but not to me. Extreme to me is living the rest of my life on dialysis or wearing adult diapers or open heart surgery and all of the other invasive and painful things that hospitals put their patients through. It's not worth it. An ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure. Don't let it happen in the first place. Your body, your life and your body are worth it. The human body isn't to be toyed or tinkered with. It does not accept replacement parts unless it's drugged into submission. That's a powerful statement right there.
Yes.
Right? It does not, man. So that was deep. So tell me this, how does one even begin to break the bad eating habits in order to course correct their health?
Patient. Fasting is a good first step because
Mhm.
you need a new wine. Anybody can handle a 7-day water fast or 10-day water fast or 10-day juice fast. That would be step one. Go doing a solid food vacation. This is all
Mm,
step one. Going on a solid food vacation, ideally for 21 days or longer. But if you can't do that right out the box, start with a week. Okay. And then once the fast is over, once you break the fast, bring in healthier foods, organic fruits and organic veggies, raw nuts, raw seeds, superfoods, super herbs.
yeah,
If you do eat meat, only eat organic grass fed meats. No bottom feeders, no embalmed meats like Vienna sausage or bologna or things of that nature.
yeah,
Uh, you want to avoid those. And a lot of greens, a lot of fruits and veggies. But if a person, the first step is a solid food vacation. An
mhm,
extended fast is always the first step because you need a new wineskin.
yeah,
You won't think it's a fair trade. You won't be ready to bring in the good stuff, and your body won't be in a position to assimilate all the good stuff because your intestines will still be a lot of stuff that you won't get. You need to get rid of that stuff that's
right.
in your intestines. An extended fast of at least 21 days really is the first step. It's not
Okay.
just want the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah,
An extended
yeah.
fast is the first step.
Awesome. And for that extended fast, you can always follow Kristopher Aaron here on Facebook because he does lead the 21-day fast in a group that he walks people through the actual steps. Now I went Rambo and I didn't tell anybody I was doing it. And what my thought process behind that was I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want people to say, oh my goodness, you're not eating? That must be so hard. You're not even thinking about food. You know how people do. And
Yeah.
so, so I kind of isolated myself during that time and didn't tell anybody because I didn't want that feedback. But I can see how it would be beneficial to have the right person in your ear while you're walking through that fast. So I think that's really important. So Thank you so much for being a part of this amazing project. True Wealth Starts in the Mind, and agreeing to write this chapter, because it is such a powerful chapter. There's so much, that we didn't even talk about that's in your chapter that is broken down in there. I mean, you have some steps in there, and it's just phenomenal. So guys, everybody that's watching, stay tuned for True Wealth Starts in the Mind. You really would want to read Kristopher's chapter, and the entire book is just amazing. But Kristopher's chapter dealing with health and True Health Starts at the Cellular Level is amazing, and it's great information. If it moved me, the person who likes ice cream, cookies, and everything else, to go on a 21-day water fast, and like you said, it was not easy, but it became easier as time went on, and then my focus was totally not on food anymore. So it got easier, and as I could see the benefits in it and everything. So I toughed it out, and I did all 21 days. So and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I would do it again. I don't know when, but I would do it again. I would definitely do it again. So thank you so much, Kristopher. Hang on one second, but thank you so much to our viewers. Thank you for tuning into another segment of the LPE Author Chat series. We, like I said, have more interviews coming up on tomorrow, so be sure to stay tuned to my page to find out who's coming up next, as we go through these amazing chapters and meeting these amazing authors. So thank you so much for being there with us, guys, and take care and be blessed. And remember, if you're thinking about writing your own book, head on over to www.laboopublishing.com and send me a message there. Take care. Be blessed.